That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice, isn't it? Kind of nice. Kind of nice. It's different. I think there's value in different. Mixing it up a little bit. Figuring your way. Trial and error. Experimenting, if you will. What do they used to say? I'll try anything once. I don't know if that's true or should... Hello, Keith. Go for like serious narcotics or things that are morally against your beliefs or anything really weird and twisted. I don't know that you have to try everything, but I remember somebody saying I'll try anything once. So my point is, I think it's okay for me to be going at this angle today, which is a slightly different angle that I've been going at the last several days. Kind of struggling a little bit. I am kind of struggling. As I transition from a realtor of 17 years and a serial stalker of 7 months into a full-time, mega successful content creator on various social media platforms, I still haven't figured out the routine yet. And I've been trying different things. And again, I probably say that every show. I try different things and I'm trying to figure it out. And maybe I'll never figure it out. Maybe I just got to put my arms... Hello, Jordan Thomas. Happy Friday. Good morning, Keith. I'll put my arms around the fact that I'm never going to figure it out. Good morning, Josh Ogran. I'm never going to have it, the game one or the puzzle put together or life figured out or all the answers that I want. But I keep tinkering with the recipe and playing with the recipe and trying to get a little bit closer every day. I don't know, because it's kind of fun. Good morning, RJ. Nice to have you today. Kind of hurt me that you weren't there yesterday. Just kidding. Oh, no. Saying unstable. Oh, good connection. All right. I get so stressed when my green dot up there that says I have a good connection becomes a yellow dot. Drives me crazy. Good morning, Blanco. It is chilly. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. And I say this every day. We've been blessed with amazing... It was rainy as heck on Monday, but every day... good... Which way am I going? I got so much to talk about, Don't know what I want to say. Why am I losing a connection? How could I be losing a connection? Oh, I know why I could be losing a connection. Hello, Slim Jim. I'm not in New Jersey, but good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It was the 11th on Monday, the 12th on Tuesday, the 13th Wednesday, 14th Friday, 15th. It is September 15th. Friday morning, and it's about 8:05. Happy Friday. This is a little show I've been doing for quite some time. Thank you for everybody for joining. If anybody's new here, please follow my page. I have a lot of fun doing this show. Go live pretty much every morning. Been going about 8 o'clock, trying to figure out the best recipe or the best time or the best thing that fits with my life where I can do this without stressing about everything that's going on, but I'm doing the best I can. Candy, thank you so much for following the live creator. I don't know for sure that until this moment that I actually had a Candy following the creator. And I think it's always important to have at least one Candy following the creator. So I appreciate you. RJ, thank you for the rose. But anyway, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking and sharing some experiences and sharing some feelings. I'm going to do this because sometimes I'll go like this and my key grip yells at me. I got to explain to my key grip the whole role. I'm the talent, I'm the boss, I'm the power, I'm the decision maker. Key grip shouldn't be yelling at me, but I've got a mean key grip. And she'll come in and yell at me and go, "Your call wasn't right. You shouldn't go at this angle. Bad angle, bad lighting. You look like crap." No, I shouldn't say that. Okay, well, Beardless Bandit's about to pour himself a hot cup. But anyway, yeah, this is a show about me talking. is a new part of the ritual. Me getting rid of the tepid coffee, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And pouring myself a nice hot cup of coffee, because for those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Or not. I hate when I screw up my intro. I've done my intro probably, I don't know, at least 500 times, and I still screw it up half the time. But again, we're not perfect, but we strive to get a little better every day. For those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Dang it, I did it again! For those that have been watching a while, you know it's not just a show about me talking or sharing the ups and downs we have in life. It's also a show about me sharing my love of coffee. Helen asked, why is this my jacket so zipped up? It's so my key grip doesn't yell at me, because if sometimes I'll wear like this and I think I look really frumpy and fat, and my key grip goes, "No, don't do that, you look frumpy and fat." So I just don't know exactly the level to zip it up. So maybe I'll go like this. Key grip, if you're out there, how's this zip? Is this zip cool? Do I look cool? Mecheto asks, where am I? Helen, I don't want to upset the key grip. If I upset the key grip, my whole day's ruined. She can be very tough. Where was I? Oh, it's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, you saw me just pour it, and hopefully you can see the steam wafting off of it. I don't know if steam wafts. If steam wafts, does steam waft or does an odor waft? I guess with the steam usually comes some sense of odor. And odor seems to have a negative connotation, wouldn't you think? When it's a good smell, you call it an aroma. When it's a foul smell, you call it an odor. I wonder if definitionally there's a difference. If you look up odor, if there's a negative connotation, and if you look up aroma, it's something that smells good. But anyway, I'm so excited to have my first sip of coffee of this pot. And my hope is that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you have a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. I've been swigging down the coffee and trying to drink it as fast as I can, because I was just inside. There were a lot of distractions going on. I got started early, as we tend to, and we're drinking some coffee. But again, with all the distractions that go on in my house, it's hard to really focus on the coffee. It's hard to have a nice quiet time when you're sitting there, you're enjoying the coffee, you're letting the warmth slide down your throat. And I took a big swig this morning, or just now, thinking it wasn't very hot. But, oh, it was hot. Oh, it was hot. And it kind of burned myself. Let's have another sip. See if I can do it again. Okay, it's the pumpkin spice coffee. And again, I'm going to have to mix it up. RJ guessed it looked like cinnamon dolce. And I appreciate that RJ is such a fan of the show. He can look at a coffee. He can look at the coffee and throw an educated guess at what a certain type of coffee looks like. Someday we're going to have RJ. I'm going to actually meet him, and we won't just be little text buddies and TikTok buddies. One day I'm going to find out that RJ's really a troll, and that he's been stalking me for all this time, and I'm going to cry. I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to grab my teddy bear, because, oh yes, I have a teddy bear, and I'm going to cuddle and go, "Oh, RJ tricked me. He tricked me. He's been a troll all this time. He's going to be the one posting all these negative things about me." And it's going to hurt. But I'll get over it. We can cry together. But I'll know you're a troll, so I don't know that we'll cry together. But anyway, somebody said, where am I? I'm coming. The high priest of the trolls. I had a high priestess of the trolls. I certainly did. A high priestess of the trolls that all the trolls bowed down to, and did some troll sort of chant, and walked around with pitchforks and torches and screamed obscenities at me. And the high priestess said, "Get him! Chase him down! pursue him, stalk him, make hateful pages about him. Go, my minions! Go track down Ken and do bad things towards him. Or it can be the best friendship ever. Not all of you guys are going to know what I'm talking about there, and maybe you don't need to. But it's funny, at least for me. You tried the mod pizza. How was it, RJ? I gotta know. How'd you like it? I don't think if you had a bad experience, you're too picky. Because I think the pizza's delicious, and it's reasonable, and it's perfect if you're not that hungry to share with. You give a slice to your kids. You don't want to give 2 slices or you're going to leave a little hungry. You know what I mean? But I'll tell you what, there's been times when I've had my daughters and money was a little bit tight, and we would split a pizza and have to make do. Sometimes, where am I? I'm in Naperville, Illinois. It's a town of about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. Wins a lot of awards. Great town, great schools, great library system, I guess. Did a video about that the other day. I don't know what makes a great library system great, but our library system certainly wins a lot of awards. I was a realtor for 17 years, so I kind of got in the practice of singing the praises of the town I was in. And I was in Naperville for most of that time, and I've gotten really good at singing the praises. And the one nice thing about me is I'd say I'm almost honest to a fault. And if I like something, you're going to know it, and if I don't, you're going to know it. Because if I took a sip of this coffee, and I mean, I loved it, so it's going to be hard. I'm going to have to create a odorous face, and I'm going to go. But seriously, if somebody says something that I don't like or acts a certain way, I'll go like this. And oftentimes, that might lead to some conflict, because the person that said something that I like will know that I didn't approve of what they said. We got some New Jersey viewers. I appreciate people from New Jersey. Yesterday, we had a whole rash of people from Thailand and various other places. But right now, New Jersey's is far. Is anyone further? I'll call it. Say I live in Chicago. Is anyone further from me than New Jersey, or is Metchef? And I'm probably not pronouncing his, her. I wonder if Metchef is a man or a woman. I don't know, but Metchef is in New Jersey, and that's the furthest we know. Later on, we tend to get a lot of people from like Thailand, or what do we have? We had somebody from Swaziland, Plainfield. Hello, Terry Klecka-Leitner. Metchef, okay. I'm south of St. Louis, okay. Good morning, Lindsay girl. It's so funny when people pop on as I'm drinking my coffee, and it means a ton to me. What was I saying? Oh, a couple things I wanted to talk about today. Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster. There's I got 2 little ones. I got a little boy and a little girl. I got 2 bigger ones too. I have God bless me with 4 children, a 17 and a 14-year-old. Beautiful young ladies from my first marriage, and 2 beautiful babies from my second, a 2.5-year-old and about an 11-month-old. And so at home, we watch a fair amount of Sesame Street these days, and I enjoy Sesame Street. And Sesame Street, I'll tell you what, for the 50 years I've been watching it, which feels crazy to say, but I have. I think it's originally came out in 1969. I was 1. Maybe I watched it at 1, but I certainly watched it in the early 70s. So I've been watching it on and off for 50. I don't want to dive too into my story if the connection's no good. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? It's frozen. It's frozen. Now it's working. I hate when I freeze up. It seems like this angle's free. Oh, I'm getting a whole lot of people telling me it's freezing. Good morning, Annette One Feather. Good morning, Annette One Feather. I like when Annette One Feather joins. It makes me think of, I don't know what it makes me think of, something. But, what was I saying? Oh, the Cookie Monster. Let's try something different. It's going to bother me. Do-do-do. Ba-do-do-do. Ba-do-boo-boo. Ba-do-boo-boo. possible the angle could have been bad? I mean, I know I look good, but was the connection bad because the angle was bad? It sure doesn't seem like it should be that sensitive, but sometimes it is. Let me get my coffee. I'm sorry for anyone that froze up. I had to switch angles. Hopefully we have a better connection now. I don't know why the connection would be bad because I had the phone turned around. All it did was switch sides of a cup. So anyway, I was just watching a Sesame Street right now. And it was Cookie Monster got tricked into eating some vegetables. He didn't really get tricked. However, I'd never seen him eat anything but cookies in his 50 years. I mean, things he thought were cookies and cookies in my 50 years of watching the show. But anyway, in this episode, which stars Mario Lopez from Saved by the Bell, for any of you ladies out there that are big Mario Lopez fans, Mario Lopez had a special guest role in Sesame Street. And Cookie Monster was eating a bunch of vegetables. And in one scene, he downed a bunch of carrots and went, bah, 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 which my son really loves watching Cookie Monster do his thing and eat like a slob. But anyway, he said the carrots would be good for his googly eyes. He actually said that. I thought that was kind of funny. And I was wondering on the way out to do my show, does anyone know? Are there any doctors out there or any eye people out there or any well-read people? Are carrots really good for the eyes? Are they really good for the eyes? Or is that just kind of a thing? I wonder what it would be about carrots. I wonder what vitamins are in there or minerals or what have you that would make carrots good for the eyes. I don't know. These are the things I think of as I'm getting ready to do my show. I'm going, I wonder if they are good for the eyes. I might have to eat some more carrots. I wonder how many people out there use reading glasses. I wonder how many... Hello, Edward Dulay. Hello, Sticky Peach. I wonder how many people out there wear reading glasses and at what age we started wearing them. I know when I was about... I've talked about this before. I walked into an Ace Hardware once and I thought my vision had always been perfect. I'd never worn glasses. I'd never needed them. I could read anything and anywhere and always was really proud. I like to think I had like the eyes of an eagle and could spot a mouse running in a field far away. But then one day I walked into an Ace Hardware, and for anybody that's probably 40 years old or older, I would caution you, hello Tavi, to not do this because it's dangerous and it's going to lead you into a life of realizing you're getting older, realizing your vision's not as sharp as it used to be, and but it's okay. But either way, I walked into an Ace Hardware. There was a big stand of reading glasses, and one day I just said, hey, I'll see all these, look. And I popped on a pair. I don't know what magnification it was, but not really relevant to the story. But all of a sudden, whoa, I could see all the prices and see all the logos and see all the everything so crystally clear that I said, damn, I need reading glasses. And I've kind of needed them ever since. I kind of got lazy for a while. I became a slave to them. I couldn't go out of the house without them. I'd go to, maybe the key is I just stopped going to eat out. But I used to go to restaurants and have my friends or my wife read for me. Yeah. I don't know if I have any more story about that. Did I stop working at Target? Edward Dulay, why are you so curious about me and my job at Target? I'm curious as to why you're so curious. What was for dinner? Oh, an awesome, I think it was like a beef roast, shredded. It was so good with mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. It was so good. And I almost couldn't stop eating. And I was in charge of cleaning up the kitchen, and I was putting away all the things. And I'm not above being a vulture, if you will. And if there's a big hunk of meat that seems fairly untouched on somebody's plate, I might just go after it. And I did. And as I'm putting away and putting all the leftovers and wrapping them up, I kept nibbling on the meat the whole way. And I kind of waddled out like a weeble out to the couch and sat in a chair. And a friend of mine came down and wanted to watch a movie on the couch. But I was sitting there. And I don't know if anybody out there, if it's just me, gets so full that the idea of laying with a friend, partner, lover, wife, husband, if you're a woman or you go that way, doesn't sound so appealing. And I'm a cuddler. I love cuddling and watching movies and touch and connection and caressing, and I'm really big into that. But last night, with my belly all filled with beef, I did not have room for anybody else on the couch with me. And I sat there in my chair going, oh, please go away. Maybe there was offense taken. Edward Dulé is not a cuddler. Okay, well, Edward Dulé, I like to think of it as I am transitioning from a career as a realtor and a part-time gig working at Super Target into a full-time content creator. And it's happening, and I've been plugging along at it and trying and striving and working and posting videos and sharing shorts and working on merchandise and taking on some help. And I like to think of I'm transitioning in to that. So that's where we're at right now. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing, that and drinking a hell of a lot of coffee. But as we transition into a full-time content creator, there's a lot of things I'm working out. I used to do my show on my couch. I used to do my show on my front stoop. I used to do my show at various spots and various times around Naperville. There's talk. My one very dedicated employee, thank you, Edward Dulé, has talked about creating a studio for me. And let me tell you, for a guy that likes views and likes sitting outside, my key grip is planning a studio in the least cheery, least joyous spot in the house. And I'm going, well. But my key grip likes to think they're a excellent decorator, and they could make this otherwise non-joyous, dark and often dank spot of a house joyous. But I'm not so sure. So the way I figure it, and as I like to call myself the talent, I should call myself the talent, not sure I have any, but anyway, the guy that sits in front of the camera, I do often get veto powers. And I'm going to keep doing this show outside or in sunny, bright areas where I can look outside or wave to neighbors, or I'm going to keep going downtown because I think that creates a lot of good discussion. And do a set time for your lives, like how they doing it live in the morning. Tabby, I get that, but I used to do it live at 8. I'll tell you what, I'm targeting 8 o'clock every morning. I am targeting at 8 o'clock every morning. And no, I cannot do a backflip. Well, Tavi, I am targeting 8 o'clock every morning, but for those that were watching, you know that was a very volatile time in my life. And I took a job at Super Target, and they were scheduling me at 7 o'clock, and I go, hey there, boss. It's really important. I do a live show at 8. How about instead of working from 7 to 3, I just work from maybe 9:30 to noon? That would fit in better with my live show. And they looked at me and didn't know if I was serious. And I would tell them, really, I'm a mega celebrity. I've got 34 people watching this morning. It's so crucial that I keep doing it live at 8 o'clock. And they looked at me again as if I was serious. And I really wasn't that serious. I really didn't expect them to bend my schedule. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Good morning, two-girl mom. And yeah, we're going to be targeting at 8 o'clock every day. But again, allow me, I'm working through it and trying to figure it out. And some days I'm going to go downtown. Some days I'm going to sit on my patio. Some days I might sit in my sunroom. And I don't know. There's some other days. Yeah, if they won't respect your time, find another side job. Totally true. Totally true, Tommy. 8 a.m. noon and 4 p.m. Hey, RJ, not only does he ask a lot of questions, he wants 3 live shows a day. I could do that, RJ, but I'm currently making, I don't know, maybe $4 or $5 a day doing these, which is something. And I'm not poo-pooing it at all. I'm not poo-pooing it at all. I love my $4 or $5 a day. And I looked yesterday and I hit an all-time high in revenue in one day on YouTube. And I showed my key grip, and they go, is that it? Scurry off to Starbucks and buy yourself a cup of coffee with that. But anyway, it's a lot more fun. No, I know I will, Tommy. I'm having fun. And I promise you, it's not about the money. I've been doing this for 4.5 years, and it was never about the money. It's just for fun. But if you can do something for fun and make a career of it, I think you should. Yo, Limitless. Yo, Limitless covers the coffee. Yes, it does. What do you think about Bush and 9/11? I mean, what do I think? I think that was George Bush's key moment in his presidency, and him being involved in the day that was 9/11 guaranteed him a second term of presidency. And again, I think George Bush, and I think I voted for Bush, was one of our more awkward presidents. I don't think he was born, and granted, his dad was president before him, and his brother was governor of Florida and ran for president as well. And I do think families can get some momentum. But I don't think George Bush was born to be president. I don't think, I'm not judging him as a president, but I'm judging him more on his personality. I kind of think he was a little bit awkward and a little bit kind of dorky or geeky a little bit. And some of his moments were kind of awkward moments. And I'm sure it's hard. I mean, some of my moments are awkward moments, and I only got 35 people watching. So if I screw up, nobody cares. If George Bush screws up, it's on MSNBC. George Bush screws up. And it goes both ways. If Biden screws up, it's front page of Fox News and what have you. He was like that on purpose. I don't know that he was like that on purpose, Limitless. I don't know that he was. But let's have a little more coffee. I've talked about it before. I made a very short run at school board in Naperville. And it probably normally wouldn't be this contentious of a time. But it was 2 or 3 years ago. I did everything I could to get on the ballot. And I mentioned this before. Apparently, there was a clerical error, and I hadn't updated my address to the address I just moved to with the voting office, and therefore my name didn't get on the ballot, which at the time I was really disappointed in, because even to try and get on the ballot requires a lot of work and getting signatures. I mean, not a lot of work, but work, and a lot of paperwork and this and that, and you can't just email in your name and you're on the ballot. It takes more work than that, I'll promise you. And I had some people helping me, and people getting names signed for me. And to say because of a clerical error I wasn't on the ballot for school board was kind of embarrassing and kind of hurt a little bit. I felt silly. But in hindsight, it was probably the best thing that ever happened, because, boy, it was a contentious time. It was at the height of COVID. I was clearly one that wanted to keep the schools open during COVID. And there was a very vocal and very strong group not wanting the schools open. And it was a contentious time, and social media was ugly during that time. And, there's still some residual stuff from that time. Uh, yeah. So, anyway, my point is if I couldn't have handled the pressure running for school board in Naperville School District 203, I don't know how the guys that run for president can do it. They just must have no nerves or no nerve endings or no feelings. I mean, they got to have feelings. They're people. They're people. But some people actually feed off strife and conflict. And I think probably Donald Trump's one that does. And I think to be a politician, you must have the thickest skin in the world. Because people can be mean. People can be mean. And, whoa, every time Biden talks, I mean, probably more than I'd like, some funny stuff comes out. But again, every mistake he makes is splattered all over the news. And, lots of people do get off being mean. It is weird, Maxim. Josh says Trump 2020. I think it's totally... Who's Vivek? I don't even... Oh, Vivek! Vivek's a little guy. I've seen him. He's conservative. He'd be the first president, Indian-American president. I don't think he's probably got a realistic chance. He's a young entrepreneur. I've seen him on like CNBC, and I always agree with what he says. And again, I'm right of center. I'm not making not going to hide that, but I see both sides to most issues. And for anybody, and the problem I think with politics right now is because it seems to be run by the extremes. And whether you're left or right, you don't want to upset the extremes. And I think for anybody that can't see both sides of an argument, I don't know. Because whether it's abortion or keeping the schools open or, I don't know, going to war or whatever, I think all these issues are big issues and heavy issues. And need somebody that really thinks it through and doesn't say, well, my core group is pro-choice or pro-life, or my core group wants schools open or closed, or my core group thinks we should go to war, so that's just what I'm going to do. I don't know. I'm picturing Abe Lincoln in the office and the pressure of the world that was on him while we're in the midst of a civil war. And this war wasn't far from his home. This war was, was in Washington, D.C., and the war was, beating at his door. And, he'd go to Gettysburg and see the arms blown off and see the men hobbling around on, missing limbs and legs, and he saw the blood and death and ugliness that is war, and I think it probably weighed on him heavily. And I believe he was a guy that always struggled a little bit with anxiety and depression as well, and I'm sure it was a hard time for him, and he took it very, the grave decisions that he had to take on a day-by-day basis, I'm sure weighed heavily on him. And I'm sure they weigh on everyone. But I think, again, if we pander to the extremes, I'd rather a president that can see both sides of these issues. So let's have a little more coffee. Hello, Marissa. How are you? Thoughts on new buzzword, diseases of despair. What does that mean, diseases of despair? Is that something to do with talking about mental health? Hello, Track Days. How are you? Oh, diseases of despair. Well, I think the word despair is a bad word. I'd rather not use the word despair, because when you're facing despair, it seems like you have no hope. And maybe if I opened up the dictionary and you looked up despair, maybe the definition of despair is having no hope. So I would rather not use that word and even call it diseases of despair. Because as a guy that struggled with anxiety and depression most of his life, I'm not sure I would consider them diseases. I think the struggle I had was trying to be somebody that I wasn't, or trying to hide the sadness, or trying to. Because I don't think I struggle with the anxiety and depression anymore. And I still have bouts and have moments of sadness, but we all do. I think I'm just more accepting of it and okay with it. And when I'm feeling really crappy, I go, well, I'm just feeling really crappy. I felt really crappy before. I'll feel better. Or I've got some tools. Should government get more involved? So many suffer with diseases of despair. No, I generally don't want the government getting a whole lot more involved in anything. But I think as a society, as we raised awareness of women's rights and minority rights in the past, I think we should take struggles that humans are feeling and be aware of them and be more open about it and more honest and talk about how we all go through stuff and we all have hard times and we all maybe be okay with it. Maybe be okay with it and be accepting of it and realize, Maxim tries to stay positive. I've not only tried to stay positive, and I struggled with anxiety a lot in my life. I'm still a worrier. I just catch myself a lot sooner and realize that I'm worrying or I'm fretting, and it can be about something silly like having an appointment this afternoon at 4. How are we going to get there? Are we going to make it on time? Are we going to get a babysitter? How are we going to do it? And I'll get all bent out of shape and wrapped like a pretzel about all sorts of silly little things. And Marissa, you say you suffer every day. So many ways to help with anxiety. I haven't talked about it too much lately, but I think when I was struggling with my anxiety at its worst, it was 4.5 years ago, and that's kind of when I discovered positive affirmations. And you can look up positive affirmations, and it sounds so silly, and Saturday Night Live did a skit, but I'm telling you, when you're struggling with anxiety, you got a negative voice inside your head saying horrible things, saying you're ugly, you're stupid, nobody likes you, this and that. You pop on audio of a man or woman's voice talking about saying you're beautiful and your smile lights up a room and you make a difference and you are important and you are valued. You start believing it, and it wipes out the voice inside your head and you fill yourself with good thoughts. Another thing that works for me is when I wake up in bed, I usually am at my most anxious and most worrying time, and I sit and look at my day and I go, crap, what am I going to do today? Find some things to be grateful for, and find some things to be positive. It's not too hard to do. Your warm sheets, your husband or wife next to you, your love of your children. If you're alone, think of your dog. If you don't have a dog, think of your roof over your head. If you don't have a roof over your head, think of I don't know, somebody the sun in the sky, because we all have the sun in the sky. And there's always something to find, and look hard if you have to, and look deep if you have to. And once you find one thing to be grateful for, it's easy to find several others. It can almost be a game, and you can go, thank God for the green in the leaves, or I'm a little annoyed because I hear somebody doing a leaf blower right now, but you can turn it around and say, thank God for the leaf blower, because it means fall's on the way. Soft pillow, hot shower, warm cup of coffee, audience on fresh pair of socks. I love new socks and new underwear. There's so many things to be grateful for, and the smaller the thing, I think the more important it is. The sillier the thing, just the feeling of my toe in the slipper I'm wearing right now, you can be grateful for that you're feeling that sensation, and it helps out a ton. Go to church, hang out in positive environments, stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking pot. I'll say that. Some of the most depressed people I know are pot smokers. It's going to get me in trouble because there's a lot of pot smokers out there. I don't think it helps. It's a Band-Aid over a gaping wound, and it fixes you for about 5 minutes. And it fixes you for about 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, you're going, hey, I don't feel good anymore. Maybe I'll go smoke some more. And then you keep going to smoke some more, trying to soothe the hurt that is in your heart and in your soul. And it doesn't work. And yeah, Edward Dulay said my daughter was very depressed when she smokes. Yeah, Maxim, I agree with that too. Smoking keeps your mind like a hamster wheel. Uh, yeah, but it's not fixing it. It's not fixing it. It's not fixing it. And I think I guarantee, because I smoked pot for a long, long, long time, it never fixed the issue. I woke up the next day feeling crappy, feeling fuzzy, feeling stupid, feeling hungover at times, feeling resentful of my wife, resentful of the feelings I had inside, resentful that I wasn't spending more time with my daughters, resentful that I didn't have more money in my bank account, and the way I dealt with it all was smoking more pot. But so nothing ever got fixed, and nothing ever was done. But till you can find gratitude in your surroundings, or find positive thoughts in your mind, or find peace in your heart, you're going to be struggling. And we're going to be slaves to smoking pot or drinking alcohol or doing other drugs. And that's not a good thing. So I would encourage you, if you're still watching, Marissa, if you're struggling with stuff, and we all struggle with stuff, first of all, know that we're all struggling with stuff. There's healthier ways to deal with it. And if you can, again, focus on gratitude or positive thoughts or hanging out in good environments, you're going to be a lot better off long term. So, oh, Nick, it's quitting coffee. I don't even want to wish you luck for that. Drink more coffee. Drink more coffee. Am I going downstate to see my girl run? Not sure. Not sure. But I so appreciate you for joining. I'm going to sign off here because a few minutes ago I got a little alert saying there's only 10% power left on my phone. And I like to sign off and leave you with some happy thoughts and positive feelings, and leave me with happy thoughts and positive feelings as well. I got a great night's sleep last night. I went to bed early and I woke up late, and it felt so good, and I'm enjoying my coffee, and I'm looking forward to my day, and the sky is blue and the temperatures are cool. And I'm so excited about my day, and I'm so excited about what I'm going to accomplish today. And I'm so excited that I get to spend time with the people I get to spend time with, that I got to work on my video production company, I'll call it that, and build something for the future that I'm going to be proud of. And I'm looking forward to that. And I hope you got a great night's sleep, and I hope you are feeling good this morning. I hope you're enjoying your coffee. You're excited about your day. You're loving yourself. You're forgiving yourself. And as always, I hope to talk to you soon.